Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to do technical analysis on oil and gas. It's one of my favorite sectors. It is still incredibly cheap in relationship to gold. So looking back in history, the oil to gold price is usually somewhere 1 ounce gold, 10 barrels of oil to 30 barrels of oil. We had this 2020 glut where we stopped the economy, shut it down. It's never happened in history. And we had this massive oil glut, which pushed the ratio way up. It was like 1 ounce could buy 90 barrels or 100 barrels of oil, some ridiculous amount, which then provided this huge opportunity to load into energy companies. So now we're still looking at them, and they're of still good value. So let's take a look at the technical analysis, and I'll give you my financial opinion. It's not advice on this sector. And here we go. So first I'm going to start with oil itself. West Texas Intermediate Crude. I'm looking at this right-hand side. And again, we haven't broken through this downtrend yet. Let's do this. I'm going to have to draw it in here. Here's the downtrend line that we have not broken yet. We're still relaxing here, trying to break through it. But before this, we've got this nice big bullish engulfing pattern here, which usually means it's setting up a base to launch from. So this is a bullish engulfing here. We came up with good buying pressure, another good buying pressure day, 2 small down days. The buyers are in control. This is probably going to go, statistically, it wants to go up. So it looks pretty good, but we've been doing this in the face of a dollar that's been rallying the past 2 days. So oil today was very strong. It was up 1.4%, and the dollar was up 0.2%. And this is usually the inflation hedge commodity. Now, nat gas, it looks almost like uranium these days. Nice launch higher, 7.5%, looking fantastic. I'm long in all these oil and natural gas companies, so this looks very good. If you're a natural gas investor, definitely not good if you're going to be a consumer of natural gas. SM Energy, I think this looks really strong. Looking at the right-hand side, obviously we broke the downtrend. We have this up day, and we've got these little small down days. It means that the sellers, there's no one really selling this stock. And I think that the buyers are going to come in here and push it higher when oil goes higher. So that looks good. Centennial Development, another one of my favorite companies. And this is what it looks like here. We're trying to break through this area, right in this area here, somewhere in that range. We kind of peaked out a little bit above it, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But we break through this downtrend line, and if we start heading higher, we could see a pretty good surge higher over time, given that oil follows suit. Callum Petroleum, a little bit of a bigger down day today. I mean, a little bit. This does still have some pressure, it looks like, some selling pressure. Nice bullish piercing, which means it statistically wants to go higher. We went higher here. Maybe it pulls back and moves on higher. Now, this is one that I bought a little bit more in today at 4 something. Pulled on back. We usually do these kind of like up and over moves. And if we get some good buying pressure in oil, I don't see why this wouldn't head higher with it. But I like Recaf. They are an exploration company, a little bit riskier company. It's very volatile. Very volatile. Tetra Technologies. Now this one looks like it's weakening a little bit. We had some nice buying pressure up here, kind of paused. A little bit of sellers coming in. So there is some weakness here. Transocean saw weakness today as well. It's kind of a large down day, 6.37%. We might be putting in almost another shoulder here. This looks like a reverse head and shoulders. A shoulder, a head, and then maybe a shoulder comes in. It's just a pattern that we see that plays over and over. MCF, Contango, this one looks good too. 3 small little down days. We're right at the 200-day moving average. Doesn't look too bad. We just need oil to get its butt moving. Tellurian looks like we're getting a little bit of a sell-off, a little more of a sell-off here. I'm trying to see if that's a bearish engulfing. We might head a little bit lower. We are still not broken out of this downtrend. See, we're right there at the downtrend. This trend line might hold, and we might head lower here. I own Tellurian. I'm not doing anything with it. Just holding on. Southwestern Energy, we had that monster natural gas at 7.5%, but we put a wick at the top. It looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. Got some sellers up here. Comstock, again, we broke out of this area. A lot of the times it comes up and we might pull back and back test. Usually what that means is that we break out and we want to pull back kind of to this area here, 680-ish, something like that. And sometimes they don't pull all the way back. Sometimes they might just pull a little bit. But keep in mind, it was a natural gas. Natural gas itself was up 7.5%. It was only up 4%. So I think we're slowing down a little bit. You can also see that the opening and closing prices, the body of the candlesticks here, are contracting a little bit. So I think we might do a little bit of a pullback here or reversal day tomorrow. Crude Energy surprisingly looks really strong right here. Let me see if we kind of broke through here or not, but it looks like it's lining up to try to break through this at any point here. We're right there. It finished strong today, 4% up day, nice, good-looking candlestick. We'll see what happens. We'll see what oil does tomorrow. But that's what I have for the entire sector. They all look very similar. Some of the companies are exhibiting a little bit of weakness in them. Other ones look like they're lining up to move higher. So it's a mixed bag here. I think it highly depends on what oil does. If oil heads on higher, I think we're going to see Crude Energy break here. I think we'll see Recaf do very well. I think SM Energy looks like it wants to move higher. All it needs is a green light to go. And oil will be that green light. I think CDEV looks pretty good. CPE was coming under a little bit of selling pressure on the short term. That could obviously change very quickly if we see the price of oil go up. So obviously, it's a lot of these companies move on the price of oil. Natural gas is kind of a tertiary benefit. It's very rare that I see natural gas move on higher and then the companies just blow through whatever oil does. Usually they trade with oil and natural gas is just a benefit for earnings. Usually. Some of these really highly natural gas companies will trade more in line with natural gas itself, but most of them trade with oil, even though they're 50-50 mix, 50% oil, 50% natural gas. If you guys like this analysis, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.